Yes, people. Welcome back to another episode of the Finished Article, and welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Shaz, and I'm joined again, as always, by my co-host Shaz. How are we, bro?
Yeah, good, bro. How are you? You right?
Yeah, good, man. Good. Everything good?
Yeah, all good, bro. Sorry, just having laptop issues, so just
Nah, it's all
making do
good,
with
man.
a phone device for the time being. But happy to be
No,
back
it's
on.
all good. No, it's all good, man. Looking slick in that pic there, bro. In that suit and everything, yeah.
Oh, bro, that's the dream, bro. That's the dream. Working our way back there.
Funny guy. What a guy. What a guy. I mean, it is what it is, isn't it, bro? I mean, how that's a fairly old pick, isn't it?
It's a good few years old, bro. But I needed an avatar so people could see who I was. So I just found that one. So apologies,
Oh,
it's not
that's
my
fair.
latest and greatest.
Nah,
But
it's all good,
hey, you
mate.
know what it is.
At least they know
I'm
what
back.
you look like, bro. At least they know what you look like.
I've just heard breaking news that Pele has just passed away. I don't know if
No,
anyone caught that, but
no, don't say
yeah.
that, bro.
That I just
Ellie?
heard. Yeah, the late
Nah,
great Pele.
man.
Yes, which is just posted on the thread as well.
Yeah,
But
no, I've just read that. It's just Pele honored in Game of Stars with Brazil. Oh no, that's not it.
yes,
There's
so
no news online about it. It's just saying. Hold on, give me a sec, bro. This is
no
from
worries.
today. Oh, he'd been in hospital for a month.
Yeah, just before the World Cup,
Oh,
or well, after World Cup was happening.
he's. I didn't know he was in hospital for cancer treatment, bro.
Yeah, he'd been in for about a month during the World Cup was happening. He was making
Yeah,
recovery, but I don't think he fully recovered. So yes, sad day.
sad day for football,
Indeed.
that man. Sad day for football. Big
Indeed.
legend there, man. Big legend. Breaking news,
Yeah.
that man. That's right here on the finished article. Some sad news there that Pele's sadly passed away, departed this
Indeed. Indeed.
temporary world.
Thoughts to his family and friends during this difficult
That's it,
time.
man. That's it, man. That's it. As you can see, our names are at the bottom. Those are our Twitter handlers. So if you want to reach out on Twitter, you can get us there. As always, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. This episode is Premier League talk, and we'll just be running down the results from Monday till yesterday. And if we get a bit of time, we might preview some of the big games from for the next couple of days as well over New Year. But we'll see how we go. Um, what I'll do, Shaz, is I'll say the name of the game and the score, and you can start with your thoughts on each game if you want to do it that way.
Yeah, go for it, Russ. Let's
We'll
smash
do it
it.
that way, yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
So first off, we had the bottle jobs Tottenham against Brentford.
Yeah, I called it on the preview. As I said, Spurs was good. Spurs were going to do what they do best. Yes, they did come back into it, but they always do this. So they always start games late. They have this habit of starting like 15 minutes later than the actual game kicks off. So instead of playing 90 minutes, they actually play 75. So just for you Spurs fans out there, football is played over an hour and a half, not 75 minutes. So advisable to wake up and learn how to kick off from the start. But Brentford were
Yeah,
dominant. Ivan Toney with the goal. We talked about him. I knew he was going to score because he might be banned due to all these betting charges.
yeah, I
And
remember.
then
Yeah, we spoke about
essentially Spurs
that.
came back, but
To
I'm
be
still
fair, bro, I
classing it as
mean,
a drop off.
just looking at the stats, Spurs actually dominated this game. They had 15 shots with 8 on target, 61% possession. They made 511 passes with 81% accuracy, and they had 5 corners. It seemed like, looking at the stats, they should have won this game. But, it's Tottenham in it, so Tottenham did a Tottenham and
Well,
bottled
you
it.
know what it is? So they also they did start well. I agree with you on that. The problem is that in football, it's a really simple game. Score one more than the opposition, and unfortunately,
Yeah.
if you don't convert your chances, as most will tell you, you will you can be as dominant as you want, but the score line will still read as you drew. So that's all that matters at the end of the day. Not the possession, not the amount of chances you create, but what you put in the back of the net.
Definitely,
So
man,
yeah,
definitely. No, I agree with you. Tottenham, obviously, just Tottenham. They like to bottle everything, don't they? But I think, was it yourself though, or was it Rich that predicted that Harry Kane would score in this game?
yeah, I think Rich said that
Yeah,
Harry Kane would score, but he did. I think Tottenham also had a penalty shout turned down, one of those disputable VAR ones
yeah,
that could have
they
gone
did
either
actually.
way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they did, bro. They did. It is what it is, though. They shouldn't be relying on VAR to help them win games, really, should they? Well, yeah, let's move on to the next game. Southampton versus Brighton, 3-1 win for Brighton away, which I was quite shocked with this. I thought Southampton would have won this. Lallana scored against his old club. Then there was an own goal, and Solly March's goal was actually a really good goal.
my brother, what did I tell you in the preview? Go watch the preview for those that haven't seen it. I told you Brighton were going to smash Southampton. I
You
said
did
it. I
actually.
said it on the finished
You did
article, and
actually.
you
No,
know
you
what? You
actually
know
did
what I
say
said.
that.
I did say it because I just have this feeling about Brighton that they're not pushovers as we've seen against United at the start of the season. Sorry, I had to bring that up, but it proves that they are a
Sad
decent
times.
side. And yes, unfortunately, sad times, as Shaz said. But
Sad times, bro, that you have to bring up Brighton beating United, bro. Sad times.
well, unfortunately, I mean they're beating better, bigger sides as well. I mean
They
they're no
have, yeah,
pushovers, but yeah, I called it.
definitely.
I think I said 2-1, but they actually managed to go and get the extra goal. Southampton are a side on
Yeah,
the decline for me. They kind of need to freshen up and bring some new talent in. But yeah,
yeah,
overall,
definitely.
not surprised.
No, again, same. I wasn't really surprised that Brighton won, but I would have expected Southampton to win this. But I wouldn't have expected Southampton to lose 3-1. I thought it may be 2-1 or something that like you predicted in the preview of these games that we did earlier this week.
Yeah.
Um, but we move on. We move on, bro. Newcastle away at to Leicester, and Leicester losing at home 3-0. I think most of us predicted Newcastle were going to win this and carry on that form, didn't we?
Yeah, I said 4-1 to Newcastle. Callum
You
Wilson
weren't
hat
far
trick
off. Just
down
two
for.
more goals and you would have got it, bro.
Yeah, Callum Wilson unfortunately didn't play. He was out injured, which didn't help my
Yeah.
fancy football side. I'll leave it at that. But yeah, resounding win for Newcastle. And I have to say, ever since Eddie Howe's come in, Newcastle have been a side on the up. They're currently second in the Premier League.
It's
By the
not
way,
just since Eddie Howe come in though. It's since the Saudi group bought them as well.
yeah, exactly. I mean, what I mean is they've started to. So last season they were in a relegation form when they took over, and I think ever since then they've just been on an upward curve. And I wouldn't say that they're going to be an easy side for anyone, especially with the players they brought in and the same
Yeah,
kind
yeah,
of structure.
definitely.
Guamares and obviously Almiron is on
I've
form, got a
heard,
goal
I've
every weekend.
heard, I've heard, bro. Is it Jorginho from Chelsea?
Yes.
His contract's coming up soon, and Chelsea, from what I've heard, aren't renewing his contract. So he
Okay.
might sign with Newcastle in January, but won't be able to play for them until next season.
I think it'd be a good signing for Newcastle. I think they need that tough nut. A great penalty kick taker, by the way.
Oh yeah, he
Knows how
is
to convert the
100%.
penalties. Yeah, he could. Harry Kane could learn it to a thing from how to take penalties from this guy.
Shots fired at Tottenham again. Love
Yeah,
it, bro.
as
I
always. But
love to
yeah,
hear it.
great game for Newcastle, and I think Leicester just didn't even turn up on the day. They were half sleeping. I think their manager's in danger of getting sacked.
Yeah, no, he is. I think he will be getting sacked soon. To be fair. So the next game, Crystal Palace at home to Fulham, 3-0 win for Fulham. We had Bobby Reed, Tim Ream, and Mitrovic scoring. A bit of news: Ream has signed a new contract to stay at Fulham for the next, I think, 4 years. And in this game, there was actually, from what I remember, there was 2 red cards. Tyrick Mitchell and James Tompkins both got sent off in this game.
Yeah, for Palace. Yeah, so they went down to 9 men, and
So they went down
and
to 9 men with half an hour to go, man. That's mad.
yeah, another result I called, and I said I knew that Fulham do the business
You
ever
actually
since.
did predict them to win this, didn't you?
I did. I don't
And
think
you
I
got quite a
predicted
few,
anything.
bro. You got quite a few right in the predictions so far. I'm telling you, this week you have smashed it
Yeah,
this week, bro.
it's my lucky week, I guess. But no, I mean, I think just based on form, I mean, Fulham for me.
Yeah.
Actually, I need to apologize to all the viewers and to my mate Ben. So at the start of the season, I said Fulham would be the whipping boys and go straight back down. Unfortunately, it looks like they heard my comment on the podcast or on the WhatsApp thread and are proving me wrong. Especially Mitrovic, he's
Oh,
living up to
Mitrovic
his
has been on
tag.
fire already.
Yeah, exactly. So Fulham doing the business and proving me wrong, but we love to see it.
Yeah,
Good to
no,
see them
definitely,
on form.
definitely. I mean, after the World Cup, I've had to use my wild card in fantasy football. Got rid of a few players and had to bring a few in because James, is it Reece James was in my team and he's going to be out till February. And then
Yeah,
Ronaldo
he
was in
got
my team.
injured.
I had to
Yeah,
get rid of Ronaldo. And there was a couple of Sancho hasn't played for ages. I had to get rid of Sancho. I had to get rid of about 4 or 5 players. So
you
I
know
had
the
to use
funny
my
thing.
wild card, bro.
See, the funny thing is that for the viewers that don't know, so me and Shaz are in this league between two of our other mates, Saul and Sawal. And at
Mhm.
one point yesterday, I was like second, and I was like 86 points. So I was like, "Yeah, boys, catching up." Next thing, I'm currently fourth, and literally, if you look at the points difference between the four of us, there's 15 points that separate the four of us. So it is very, very close at the moment. Um, but yeah, anyway, going back to what Shaz was saying, yeah, Fulham on fire. Great to see them doing well. Crystal Palace, I think, just a bad night in the office for them.
Yeah, no, definitely. Patrick Vieira is still their manager, isn't he, over at
Yeah,
Crystal Palace?
currently he's doing well at Palace. I think he's been one of the better managers that's come in and lent his trade at Palace, and he's doing well. Glad to see him doing well.
Yeah, no,
Obviously,
definitely, definitely. We'll move on to the next game. We have Everton at home losing 2-1 to Wolves. To be fair, I think I predicted Wolves to lose this game. Didn't I? Can't remember
yeah.
if I
You said
predicted.
Wolves to you said Wolves to lose. I said Wolves will win because they have a new manager.
There's another
That's
one
what
that you
you.
beat me on, bro. What's going on? What's
Bro, let's be
actually
honest.
going on?
Everton are unreliable. You don't trust Everton at the moment because they've just not had the consistency. Look at them signing Deli Ali for 40 million and then loaning him out to like a Turkish club and obviously a Turkish
Yeah.
club, and he's currently struggling. I mean, that's just wasted money if you ask me.
Oh no, definitely. You don't pay 40 million for a player plus wages and then send him out on loan. That's just ridiculous, man.
He only played for them for 6 months, and then they decided, you know what, up he bounce and wasted
I
money in
think
my
he
book.
was
But yeah,
struggling though, wasn't he? So that's why they sent him on loan to maybe get
I think that
his
I,
groove back or
I
something.
think Deli Ali has to be the most shocking player, not shocking in bad sense, but shocking turn of form. So he was on fire at MK Dons, then went to Spurs. First
Yeah.
season, second season under Pochettino did well, and ever since then, I think he's just been on a downward spiral, and it's really sad to
Yeah.
see. Uh,
There was an
and
article about this that
yes,
Mourinho told him that he needs to
work hard.
work harder and otherwise he's not going to stay consistent, and that's exactly what's happened. He's not taken that advice.
Yeah, unfortunately, he's
And plus,
struggled.
Everton are managed by is it not Stevie G, Frank Lampard.
Yeah, Frank Lampard. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
correct.
why that's why I'm not going to be voting for Everton anymore. Frank Lampard's that manager.
Well,
Sad times at Everton, brother. You've
unfortunately,
got to live.
unfortunately, not
Sad
all
times.
great.
You've got a Chelsea reject in your team as your manager. Sorry.
Unfortunately, not all great players make great managers, as proven at United. He might have been at the wheel, but it didn't necessarily
Oh, is
transpire
that
into
the
results.
wheel?
Yes.
Crazy, bro, crazy. That was some crazy scenes with Ole at the wheel. I mean, when he first started, that when he was on as a temporary manager, he actually did pretty well up
Yeah,
until
that
the
was fine,
point.
bro.
It was up
Yeah,
until the point where he got his contract, and that's where he just went downhill.
yeah. I would have just kept him temporarily and then just got a decent manager, and then I think it would have been fine. But it is what it is. I mean,
This is the
Arteta,
Glaciers in it,
Arteta.
bro. This is Glaciers, man. So what do you
Oh,
expect?
bro, you need a whole separate podcast to talk about this lot. I ain't got
Oh
time for
yeah,
that one today.
we will definitely have
So,
that, bro.
yeah,
But from what I've heard, there was after the game against Forest,
yeah.
so it wasn't an interview that was broadcast in the UK. It was broadcast in America, I believe, on NBC.
Right.
The host interviewed, I think he's like a journalist, a sports journalist over in America, and he's quite. He releases some good information, and he's quite reliable. And he's saying that it's these next couple of months. So the first quarter of 2023, the bank that are trying to push the deal through to have United sold, I think they're called Rain Bank
Yeah,
or
Rain
something.
Bank. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
Rain Bank.
So
Yeah,
they're actually pushing for the deal to be done within the first quarter. So by April, they want this done. Now, what
I'm
that
good with that.
means is for United, bro, that January we're not going to be buying anybody, and that's why
No.
we didn't get Gakpo because Glaciers know they're about to sell. So why should we spend money on a club that we're about to sell? That's the way they see it.
Yeah, I mean, I got to be honest with you. I think it's been a shit show. Apologies for the language, but
It's all good, bro.
you
It's
can't
all good.
you can't tell me that you knew that this player was available. What you got to do is grow a pair of balls, put a bid on
No,
the table.
the thing is, the Glaciers knew that they were going to sell the club, so they didn't want to buy anybody. They don't want to spend money on a club that they're about to sell.
Yeah, but United are getting messed over anyway. Are you going to tell me you're going to write the season off now, and then just wait till summer? It doesn't work. You got Barcelona in a couple of weeks, bro.
I mean,
Well, 5 months. Yeah.
the only thing that I can see is that we're going to get a loan deal in January for a striker to take us to summer, which will
Who
be
are you going to sign?
João
Oh,
Felix. That's
bro,
what I've been
João.
told, that João Felix is going to be the one. But right now there's United are after him, Arsenal are after him. I believe there's another club in the league that wants him, but they're all saying that the valuation or the numbers are too high, and they want Atletico Madrid, sorry, to bring those numbers down for us to sign him, and that's the same with United.
I don't know, bro. I mean, if you want a striker, you need to sign a solid striker. João Felix is good, but he's not a striker. He's a playmaker, in my opinion. But yeah.
Yeah, that's it, man. That's it. But we'll move on to the next game. We've had our rant about United there, bro. We'll move on to the next game. Aston Villa at home. Stevie G coming back against his old club here, losing 3-1 to Liverpool. Over to you, bro.
Yeah, I predicted a 3-0 win for Liverpool. I didn't see it going any other way than Liverpool winning because Villa and some of their players are still recovering from the World Cup, namely Emi Martinez, who is, I think, due back at the weekend. But Liverpool were too strong. Salah got a goal, Van Dijk got a goal, and a new debutant. I can't remember what his name was. Apologies, but he scored the winner. Villa did score a goal, which was annoying because I had Alisson in goal for my fantasy football league. So, thank you, Ali Watkins, for spoiling my points tally. I should have got 100, but I blame you. Anyway, but yeah, like I said, routine victory from Liverpool. Doesn't make it any easier that they signed a player called Cody Gakpo, who I don't understand why he's gone to Liverpool because they have enough strikers on the bench. I mean, bloody hell, how many attackers do you need? I mean, you got Jota.
Well,
You've got
I've heard that because Gakpo's coming, one of the strikers at Liverpool have been told he now has to leave. I don't know who it's
Nunes,
been said to.
Nunes.
I don't think it'd be
Nunes, bro,
Nunes because they've just signed him. I think it's someone else. But obviously that news will develop, and we'll see what's going on with that later.
You know what? I actually know a few Liverpool fans, and I was speaking to them. And I said, "What's up with Nunes?" And they said, "Mate, I hate the guy. He just literally he had like a hat trick of misses. I mean, you know what? If you put him against Haaland, he's probably got more misses than Haaland has goals. I mean, if there was a record for that, then shit, man, he'd be on top of it.
Definitely, bro. Definitely. I mean, Nunes is he's just another Timo Werner. Let's put it as it is.
Yeah.
Like Timo Werner was really bad at Chelsea, and Nunes is proving to be the same as he was there at Liverpool.
I mean, I think Uruguayan strikers struggle in the Premier League. I mean, if anyone wants me to go back into history,
Cavani smashed it when he came to United.
No. I'm going to one particular Diego Forlan, who
shizzle.
I'm going back in time. So he did well
Old
at
school.
Atletico Madrid, but struggled at United.
And then he did
Yeah,
well when he left United as well, yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So what you call Cavani smashed it in the season and a half he was with United, and obviously you're biting Luis Suarez, who loves to bite players. Obviously, one-time Liverpool wonder, and obviously he's I think back in Brazil now, playing his last rites.
Yeah.
He did well, but I mean most others have struggled. But yeah, apologies. Yeah, go.
We do have a comment here from Nav, but it's not football related, but I'll still bring it up. Why is the podcast still in 720 and not 1080? That's my fault. I forgot to change the settings before we went live to 720. So sorry, to 1080. So the show's still in 720. Apologies, Nav. Apologies. It's because you're not on the show, bro. We couldn't go
Exactly,
into
Nav.
HD without you, bro. We had to have you
Exactly,
on the
Nav.
show to go HD. That's what it is.
Nav bailing on the
This is what
boys.
happens when you're not here, Nav. We don't go into 1080. We stay in 720, bro. You need to grace us with your presence, bro.
Exactly.
But yeah, Aston Villa versus Liverpool. I wasn't expecting anything different. I was expecting Liverpool to win that game. They won it comfortably. Liverpool did what they were expected here. Salah scored, Van Dijk scored, and I can't even pronounce this other guy's name. Setic. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah,
He
I couldn't even say
scored.
it. Yeah, fair play.
I think that's the other name. I correct me if I'm wrong, but that might be the way you pronounce it. If I pronounced it wrong, someone explain to me how you pronounce that name in the comments. Nav's put a comment up, Shaz. You'll like this one. New Year's resolution: be on all podcasts going forward.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, bro. We'll see you on the next one, which will
Inshallah.
probably now be, yeah, it'll probably be on Monday or maybe a couple of days into next week. But we'll find out in a couple of days. We'll get it posted up when we'll be back. We'll move on to the next game. Arsenal at home at the Emirates Stadium, beating West Ham 3-1. Convincing win for the team that are at top of the table. And I believe they're now, is it 7 points clear they were 7 points clear of City, but I think City won as well. So it'll only take, they'll be 4 points clear. Saka scored, Martinelli scored, Chiesa scored, and obviously Benrahma scored the penalty for West Ham. But Arsenal dominated this game.
Yeah, West Ham won 1-0 up at half time. And if I'm being honest, Arsenal fans, enjoy your time at the top because you ain't winning the title. I'm gonna call it right now. You can clip this podcast. You're not winning the title. Enjoy. Arteta's done well, but Tuja, chill, relax. Don't get ahead of yourself, boys. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Bro, I am going to clip that part of the podcast and I'm going to put it on Twitter and I'm going to send it to all the Arsenal fans then, I know. Just for you, bro.
Send it to every Arsenal fan you know. You ain't winning the title, so.
It's going to go on Twitter, that, bro, and it's going to get shared around. Shaz has now said Arsenal are not going to win the league, bro. But one question for you, Shaz. What happens if Arsenal do win the league?
Then I will publicly come and apologise and hold my hands up. That's what I do.
You release a press conference statement.
Don't worry, bro. Ten Hag magic is coming. You're about to see what you're about to witness the magic. Just give it time.
Oh man. Next
but
we
yeah,
have.
Sorry. Let me just wrap up on Arsenal's. Yeah, so Arsenal won 1-0
Sorry,
down.
I thought you were finished on Arsenal there, bro. You're never finished with Arsenal, though. That's a problem,
I'm
bro.
never finished with Arsenal. I've got to give them due credit where they deserve it. They came back in the second half and did well. I mean, as Shaz gone through the scores, they ended up winning 3-1. And I think they've had a decent run, but I think tougher challenges lie ahead. But be interesting to see what happens when they face the likes of Man City properly and see what happens. And obviously, they lost to your boys 3-1 at Old Trafford. I'm going to smash them at the Emirates.
You've got to mention that, bro. You just got to mention it. You just got to mention that, bro. But I'm just looking here, bro. All Arsenal's goals came between the 50th and the 70th minute. In that 20-minute period, they scored 3 goals.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, but West Ham are a good side, but I think they're currently struggling. under David Moyes. I think this season they've not been at the best of form. So I think
I think it's
Arsenal,
time for Moisey to leave.
yeah, the second coming hasn't worked out the way it should do. But
Definitely.
stay tuned to see what happens, I guess.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely. So we'll move on. Stamford Bridge, Chelsea on Tuesday played Bournemouth and won 2-0. We had goals from Kai Havertz and your boy Mason Mount. Shaz, what are your
Yeah,
thoughts on that one?
I saw that game just prior to the United game because I was at a wedding on Wednesday evening.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't the best of weather, but yeah, Chelsea did what they had to do. Bournemouth wasn't really a challenge. Kai Havertz scored. I think he's finally finding his feet after having a shocking World Cup. And Mason Mount, well, the less said the
Bro,
better.
we'll need a whole episode on how bad Mason Mount is. But
Yeah,
just
I mean
just
they
to
did what they
condense
had to.
it, he had a bad World Cup. He's crap. Just because he scored a goal for Chelsea doesn't mean he's good. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm just putting that
Yeah,
out there. Just because he scored one goal against Bournemouth of all clubs does not mean he's a good player. That's it. That's all I have to say about that game, bro. That's all I have to say about Mason Mount.
yeah, I'd leave it at that.
So we'll move on, bro. We'll move on to the only side of Manchester that matters, the red side, Manchester United and Nottingham Forest. Obviously, United won this comfortably, 3-0. There was a goal disallowed for Forest. We had goals from Rashford, Martial, and even Fred got in on the action. But yeah, over to you, Shaz. I'll let you. I mean, sorry. Before I give it over to you, Shaz. If you want to hear a little bit of what we thought about this game, go over onto Twitter and listen to the Twitter space that we did yesterday. Me and Shaz just went through analysis of this game. We went quite in depth in it, so we probably won't be doing that over here. But if you want to hear our thoughts in depth, then head over to Twitter and get onto that space and listen in. But the Rashford goal was brilliant. The Martial goal was decent as well. But the goal that stood out for me was the Fred goal, and not because of the person who scored it, because of the way it was scored. Casemiro stole the ball, from the Forest players as they were passing it about. He went past a couple of them, saw the pass for Fred. Nice, easy pass to the left side for Fred. And Fred, all Fred had to do was just tuck it in the back of the net, which he did.
Yeah, no doubt. So as Shaz mentioned, great game. I was actually at the wedding watching this. I was multitasking, enjoying lovely dessert at this point. Great game. Rashford for me, like as I mentioned on the Twitter space, I won't go into too much detail. Rashford's back on form, back with a bang since the World Cup, and he's definitely finding his feet. And I think now with CR7 finally moving on to new pastures, I think these two, Martial and Rashford, will find their form and be able to flourish. That doesn't justify the fact that they actually need to go and get a striker. That doesn't mean the fact that they should just ignore it, because Pelistri is not the replacement for CR7. They actually need to go and get centre forward. But overall, Martial, I think, did well. I mean, I know it was wet conditions, but his instinctive finishing is kind of what we've been missing over the season. And the Fred goal, I mean, I'm just glad he hit the target. The pass before that was like sublime. I watched it. I thought it was actually I thought it was actually gonna go wide, but it actually went in,
Yeah.
which was a surprise.
I was expecting, so the way he hit the ball, he hit it curling away from goal instead of curling into goal. So at first I thought it was gonna miss, but it went in, which obviously it was good.
Yeah, I mean, great game. I think they did what they had to. Just to wrap up, I mean, I know Forest had a goal disallowed. I think, to be fair, United could have scored like 6 or 7, as I mentioned on the analysis yesterday.
Bro, I think I said it to you yesterday as well on the Twitter space that Fernandez had a good game and he could have had a hat-trick of assists, which
yes,
just
correct,
shows
yes.
that he was putting them balls in. It's just we weren't clinical with our finishing. And this is something Ten Hag mentioned in his interview after the game. We need to be more clinical. We created enough chances, but we didn't score. It's not that we didn't score enough goals, but we could have scored more if we were more clinical. I think that's what
Yeah,
he was getting at. That's the point that
he
he was
said
trying to make.
Yeah, he said it was good, but it can be better, which shows that he's hungry for more
Mhm.
success. And yeah, but that's a
Yeah,
wrap
man.
on that.
So we'll go to the next game, which is over in Leeds. Leeds United, Man City. I watched some of this game, and before I get into the results, Haaland has now scored 20 Premier League goals. He's scored 20 Premier League goals faster than anybody in the history of the Premier League. And we were all expecting him to break records when he came to the Premier League. And he's already started, and we haven't even hit New Year, bro.
Yeah, I was about to
He's
say
hit
he's on track.
21 goals because he scored two in this game. And I
Yeah,
think he's going to hit close to 40, maybe more than 40 by the end of this season. And that's
yeah. I
across
mean,
all competitions. I think he'll hit 50, 60 across all competitions.
yeah. I think to be fair, the game it was actually Haaland versus Leeds. It wasn't actually
Yeah,
Man City because
that's it. I
Haaland hardly
mean,
did.
the deadlock was broken just before half time. I think Rodri scored with the last touch of the half. And then Haaland scored his two goals in the second half. And I can't remember the name of the player for Leeds. It's Strujic
Yeah,
scored for
Street. Yeah,
Leeds.
yeah, yeah.
Now,
Correct.
one
Yeah,
of the goals for Man City, I remember, was similar to the way Casemiro scored for United, right? De Bruyne took the ball, he intercepted the ball between the passes for Leeds, but his was at the halfway line. He ran. No, it wasn't. It wasn't De Bruyne. It was Grealish. Sorry, Grealish stole the ball, centre half, ran through to the the end of it was scoring, man. I can't even get my words out now. He ran down, he squared it up to Haaland, which was a sweaty goal. You know, like you would in FIFA, you square it up to someone and they just tap it in. It was one of them
yeah,
goals. And a couple of chances before this, Grealish had chances to score and he missed. He hit it over the bar or wide. And I think the reason he passed this to Haaland is because he knew that if he took the shot one on one with the keeper, it went going in.
yeah. I think he knew, and I think that's what Pep said in his post-match analysis that he needs to. Grealish needs to finish. Well, improve his finishing because
Yeah,
the standard.
bro. He's not worth that 100 million. He's not worth that 100 million.
Well, yeah. When you compare it to the 50 million you paid for Haaland, I think you got robbed there for the extra 50 million. Villa will get.
Exactly, bro. I mean, how can you justify paying 100 million for Grealish, but 50 million for Haaland, who's twice the player that Grealish is? Doesn't
Yeah,
make
I'd
sense, bro.
agree.
It doesn't make sense to me at all. That the pricing in this world of football, man. But those
No,
are all
it's
the
crazy.
games. Those are all the games that we've covered. That obviously for the week, for match day 17 in the Premier League. Match day 18 starts tomorrow. What I'll do, Shaz, is we'll do a quick predictions on next week if you want.
Yeah, fire quick. I've got to go grab some food, but if you just want a quick fire them across,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah. So I'll run through the games and just give me a prediction. You don't need to say who's going to score and go in depth.
yeah,
Just so West
go
Ham
for it.
Brentford, West Ham at home.
I'm gonna go Brentford 2-1.
Okay, cool. I'm going to go with West Ham on a comeback at 1-0.
Fair enough.
We've then got Liverpool and Leicester. Liverpool at home.
5-0 Liverpool win.
5-0. Damn. I'd probably go with 3-2 in this because Leicester are going to want to come back from their loss, but Liverpool are going to want to win. So I'm going to call that a 3-2 game. Both of those games are tomorrow, by the way, for anyone that wanted to know. Then we've got a bunch of games on Saturday, with the first one being Wolves versus Manchester United over in Wolves.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Man United.
Yeah, I'm going to say this is going to be closer than we want it to be, bro. This is going to be a 2-1 win to United.
Fair enough.
And then we've got Man City playing at home to Everton.
Bro, I'll tell you right now, 6-0 Man City home win.
6-7-0, Haaland's
Yeah.
hat-trick. Something like that. Lampard's not going to be able to beat Pep in this
No,
match.
no chance. No chance.
Fulham versus Southampton. Fulham are at home.
Fulham win 3-0.
Nice. I'm going to go with Fulham 2-1. We've then got Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace with Bournemouth at home.
I'm gonna go no.
You're gonna go 0-0. I see Crystal Palace stealing that, bro. 2-0 or 1-0. I see Crystal Palace taking that.
I'm just basing it off what I saw this week, and
Fair
unfortunately,
play.
I've got to
No,
go
that's
no
fair,
no.
man. That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Then we've got Newcastle at St James's Park hosting Leeds.
This is actually gonna be interesting. I'm gonna go 4-2 Newcastle United home win.
4-2. Do you know what? I think it's. I was going to say 4 for Newcastle. I was going to go 4-3 in this one, bro. This is going
Yeah,
to be a high
completely.
scoring game, this one.
Yeah.
We've then got Brighton hosting Arsenal, the league leaders at the moment.
Ooh, this is gonna be interesting. Brighton at home. I'm gonna go 2-1 Brighton. I'm calling it now. 2-1 Brighton.
I knew you were going to say it, bro. I knew you were going to say Arsenal were going to lose this one. As soon as I score Arsenal's name on this one, I'm like, Shazzy's definitely going to say Brighton are beating them. To be fair, bro, this could be any team playing Arsenal and you would have said Arsenal are going to lose. Be honest, bro. Be honest.
Obviously, bro. You never
That's
know.
fair play. At least you're being honest about it. To be fair, I'm going to go 3-0 Arsenal on this one, bro, because Arsenal are still on form, and I don't see him dropping form against Brighton, to be fair. Shaz is disappointed in that, aren't you, bro? He's got nothing to say to me right now.
Yeah, I'm speechless. I need a bit of time to process that, but fair enough.
2 more games, which are on Sunday, the 1st of Jan 2023. The first game is at 2 o'clock on Sunday. It's Tottenham at home to Aston Villa.
Okay, so I'm gonna go 2-1 Villa.
Fair enough. Ollie Watkins with the goals, yeah?
Yeah, okay, go. You know, Ollie Watkins, and for Spurs, I'm gonna let them have a nice Harry Kane penalty. He'll find the back of it. I'll give him that much.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Harry Kane, yeah?
Yeah.
Then the last game of match day 18 is Sunday at 4:30. You've got Nottingham Forest at home to Chelsea.
This is gonna be an interesting one. I reckon 2-2.
Do you reckon Nottingham Forest will take a point from Chelsea?
I think they'll score at home. The dual goal. So I'm gonna be a bit outlandish and say 2-2.
2-2, yeah. Oh, they are at home, so you've got to give them a bit of a chance at home, don't you? So yeah, that's cool.
Exactly,
I mean, that's all the games for match day 18. I know we're not going to go through match day 19 now, but there's a very, very interesting game in match day 19. Chelsea at home to Man City on Thursday, the 5th of January. That's a very big game.
Well, no, I can see Man City winning that.
And bro, match day 20 is Man United at Old Trafford against Man City.
Oh boy.
So Man City have got Chelsea, and then 9 days later they've got United.
Yeah, I need to save another podcast to talk about that because I need to go a bit
bro,
more
there's
detail.
some big games coming up in January. Bloody heck, Chelsea and Liverpool Anfield on the 21st, and then Arsenal and United on the 22nd.
No, that'll be interesting.
Fam. We've got some big games coming up there, man. Some big games coming up in January, and we'll definitely be covering those off in the show in the coming weeks. But over to you, Shaz, with your final thoughts for this, for what we spoke about this week.
No, so it's been an interesting game week. Some interesting results. We're looking forward to seeing what happens over the next couple of weeks. As Shaz has said, some exciting games coming up. But as always, great to be on the podcast. Great to do the space yesterday with Shaz covering the analysis for the United game. But stay tuned for some more awesome content. We'll be updating the schedule in due course. But until then, if we don't speak to you before, then have a good New Year, and we'll see you next time. Peace out.
Sweet, man, sweet. Just before we do go, I've got a few quick little transfer rumors to go through, Shaz, if that's all right with you. I'll fire through them. You don't need to comment on if you don't want to. I know you've got to be somewhere, bro. But there's a belief that United are going to be very aggressive in the race to sign Jude Bellingham, whether that's January or in the summer. You know, who knows? I'm guessing it's going to be summer with what we spoke about before, about the ownership of United looking to change in the next 3 months. Benoit Badiashile is expected to be confirmed as a new Chelsea player very soon for a fee of around £30 million. This is what I was talking about. It's David Ornstein who mentioned about the takeover of United. He's basically said you have to watch this space on the United takeover because it could be coming very soon. It's going to be seismic. It's going to be a seismic moment in the history of Man United because basically we as United fans have wanted the Glazers out for a long time. There is talk that, you know how obviously we're all gutted that we didn't sign Cody Gakpo.
Yeah.
Ten Hag has picked another player that he wants to bring over, who is, from what I can see, is a forward. He fits the profile for what Ten Hag wants. It's a player called Martin Terrier, who plays, I believe, he plays at Rennes in France at the moment. He's played 14 games this season and scored 8 goals with 3 assists. So, and he's actually been praised very highly by a French legend, Thierry Henry. So he seems to be a very good player, but we'll see. Shakhtar Donetsk vice director has come out and said about a player who is linked to Arsenal. It's Mudryk. He's linked to Arsenal. He's basically said 60 million euros is not enough to sign him. Our director said that we need a bid closer to the Grealish fee rather than an Anthony fee.
That's the problem, bro. So now everyone's gonna want
They
stupid
want
amounts of money.
they want a fee close to what City played for Grealish rather than what United played for Anthony. For a player who we've never really even heard of. I've never
I don't
heard of
even
this
know who the
guy.
guy is. Yeah, I don't even know who this guy is.
Those are all the little bits that I had to go through, bro. The other ones that we spoke about Casemiro and everything we mentioned on the space earlier, but I just want to be clear that Casemiro to me is probably the best central defensive midfielder in the world right now, and I'm going to close with that, bro. Those are my final thoughts, final comments. We will be back with another show, most likely Sunday, Monday, around that time in the new year. If we don't speak to you again, as Shaz says, if we don't do a Twitter space or anything before then, Happy New Year to everybody. Happy 2023. And we'll see you in the next show.